Hello and howdy there, folks. Here to talk about the newest animated Disney musical, Frozen. I guess I have to say that it's computer animated. It's not traditionally animated. I suppose it's their follow-up to Tangled. I enjoyed Tangle more, but I still like this. I give it a 7. You know, it's solid quality family entertainment. It's funny. It has a good message. Has beautiful animation. I actually saw this in 2D. I'm not the biggest fan of 3D. With cartoons, it doesn't matter too much because, you know, it's so easily transferred to 3D or made in the 3D fashion. But still, they have yet to find a way to not reduce the brightness of an animated film or any 3D film, period. So I chose to see it in 2D to maintain the brightest and most colorful visuals possible. But I do kind of wish that I saw it in 3D because the visuals were really cool, and I thought the 3D stuff was, for the most part, subtle and inventively used. So again, I kind of wished I had shelled out the extra bucks and seen it in 3D, but whatever. Quality story. It's about two sisters. One older is the queen of the land. The younger is the princess. The older, the queen, has... well, it's never really explained whether she... Well, as far as I can remember. Whether she was cursed or born with the powers. I can't remember how she got her powers. But she has the power to freeze things, you know, shoot ice out of her hands, create ice from thin air. Basically, you know, she's an ice queen. And in fact, it's adapted from a Hans Christian Andersen story. What was it? The Ice Queen? I think it was called the Ice Queen, or maybe the Ice Princess. One of the two. So the Ice Queen, when her people find out that she's different, she's ostracized, and she feels that she must keep herself away from the rest of the world. This makes her sister, the princess, go off and find her. Leaving the kingdom in care of who she thinks is her true love. All the while, a random, you know, gentleman goes off to find the princess, and, you know, they find the queen and take the queen back to her kingdom to solve a problem. And, yeah, that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. Voice talent is all good. Again, this is a musical. Like, I didn't know Tangled was going to be a musical. I swear, if you watch the trailers to Tangled, it doesn't even hint at it being a musical. And not so much here either. But I had heard ahead of time that this was going to be a musical. The music's good. It's catchy. For me, every Disney movie is compared to The Little Mermaid. Both because it came at the perfect time in my life. You know, I was at the right exact age. You know, I was the Disney audience when that came out. And also, I just think it stands the test of time. The music, I think that's really what draws me back to it, is the music is basically the music to beat for Disney movies. I still don't even think Lion King or Beauty and the Beast can touch Little Mermaid in terms of its music. So this is not The Little Mermaid. Also, that Hans Christian Andersen tie-in there. This is not The Little Mermaid. The music is catchy, but certainly nowhere near as good as that, or perhaps even Tangled, or perhaps, you know, Lion King, certainly. But again, hummable stuff, you know, catchy tunes, all performed by, you know, current Broadway greats. So, you know, it sounds good, very theatrical. The other, you know, they employ actors to, do the actors and acting and talking, singers to do the singing, with the exception of Josh Gad, who's a Broadway star. Got famous from being cast in the Book of Mormon, which I believe he plays the central character there, or one of the central characters. Josh Gad's the bigger guy. He's been in several things since, including some television shows that never really got off the ground. He does the acting and the singing. I think it's tremendous. I sit there and picture Josh Gad singing, in this film, and it's just so, I just got to see him sing. It's just odd for me to picture, because he's a big guy, and I want to see him. I don't know. I guess I want to see him on the Broadway stage doing his thing. Kristen Bell is also in this. Who else? Those are the two I recognized. I can't remember who else right now is in the film. I can't tell you the director. I think it was a team. Two people directed it. Adapted from a Hans Christian Andersen story. I can't remember who wrote it. But again, delightful. Again, a good message. I'm sure that this film is aimed at girls, under the age of 14. It's girl power, believing in yourself. One thing I really liked about the film is that the villains are not very clear-cut. There's no arching eyebrows and tinting of fingers here. It's all people who are doing what they think is right from their perspective, and it's just an opposing perspective that determines that they're wrong. Again, they feel that they're doing what's right. I think that that's complicated. I think that's good for kids, because that's how it is in the real world. You're just bump into people who are always feeling that they are doing what is right, even though you perceive it as wrong, and perhaps everyone else does too perceive it as wrong, but they still feel that it is right. Also, there's just the ever so subtle lies that love can make you tell, lies that love makes you believe. It hints at, but doesn't totally, ruin or butcher the illusion that is love. So it, I don't know. I think it handled its adult themes well, and put them in a way that makes it accessible, but not hard to cope with or hard to understand for kids. I think in keeping with the tradition of Tangled, which I do feel is a superior film, they make their animals, again, not talk, but yet have much personality, and in some ways kind of steal the show. I swear the horse from Tangled is in this film. They do very little to camouflage that it's the same horse. So it was good to see him back again, even though he's not nearly as animated. That's an odd choice of words. But we also have Olaf, a magical talking snowman who is obsessed with summer and has a heat fetish. So I thought that was pretty funny. That's Josh Gad's character. He's pretty much the central character of their ad campaign, but he's not the central figure of the story by any means. In fact, he's only in the last two acts of the film, and even that just like halfway through the second act. But he's funny. He's definitely comic relief. I don't know what else much, to say. I enjoyed it. Good audience. There's a lot of kids. That's when I enjoy kids in a movie theater, is when it's a kid's movie. Obviously, I'm an older man, and, maybe it's even weird. In fact, the lady, ripping my ticket gave me an odd look. Maybe she thought I was going to take some kids or something. But, I like to watch kids' movies with kids because, well, one, it's nice to see what they think is funny as opposed to me. And, again, it just puts you more in the mood to watch the movie. I think I've pretty much said my piece. Again, just a quality 7, a good watch, good for kids, where an adult wouldn't blow their brains out having to watch for the 30th time in a row. The music's catchy, it's funny, it's, again, the animation is gorgeous, character design is cool, there's kind of a scene reminiscent of Watchmen, and Dr. Manhattan building his palace of glass on Mars. Here, the Ice Queen builds her palace of ice in the mountains, and it's a fantastic scene and beautifully animated, and kind of awesome. Again, that's it. Basically, when I wished I was watching it in 3D, because there was a lot of ice effects that would probably have looked rather cool in 3D. So there you go. I think I've pretty much said my piece. Just another solid Disney musical. Slightly formulaic, nothing too, new, nothing too new, but definitely handles the traditional story in a fresh way. It doesn't talk down to kids. I think that's important. So yeah, just quality Disney stuff. Definitely, and now that it's Christmas and snowing in most of the country, not here in Los Angeles, but I'm sure it will have a long life. Not that all Disney movies don't have a long life, but being tied in with Christmas and winter, I'm sure it will be, brought out year upon year. So, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, So, all right, there you go. So that's the new Disney animated musical Frozen, and give it a solid 7. Thanks much.